just the way we brought them in, we were bringing them in.
It's odd, we changed it.
Yeah, just because we wanted to be kind of we wanted to see how they actually got going. And
We've rerouted them now behind on
Yes.
the other wall, right?
Yes.
On the, what is it, the
West Seawall.
Okay. They used to be like that in Island House, we complained.
Right, and the school, the drivers have been told that there was no idling. But now, this may or may not be a permanent solution. We're still evaluating it. We want to see what kind of imposition on the school that the Con Ed work has. Now, hopefully, it'll be minimal because after this week, if they stay to schedule, they're going to be working from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. But
Right. So this is the noisy time or the not noisy time?
The noisy time.
Right. And they're going to do it 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. or 7 a.m. What did you say?
7 p.m. to 7 a.m. As I understand it, that's when the bulk of the work is going to be done. But because of the weather, they only got a little bit done this week. There's if you notice outside, where they did dig to have access to the vault, Linda and I went out there today to take a look at it, and we weren't happy with the way it looked. So we have a new engineering lead. We went to him, and he immediately fired something off to Con Ed because it doesn't look like it was supported properly.
Where is this that they're digging?
It's right out in front of the building here. You'll see where there's some fresh, what do you call it?
On the street or by RIRA?
No,
right from the vehicle, right across the street from your main entrance right here.
Which is where the vault is. That's why they're starting the work over here.
The vaults meaning where the electricity.
The gas line, right?
Yes. Yes.
Right, correct.
Yep. So, I don't know whether it was the intensity of the rain, but it appeared to be sinking a little bit, so that's going to be adjusted. So, Linda and I we'll stay on top of them as much as we have to. Past experiences with Con Ed is they need a lot of attention. We told them that they couldn't bring any private vehicles down here because for a lot of reasons. And as I explained to the guy that showed up yesterday from Con Ed, we're displacing at least 15 parking spots. And we were telling them this with every meeting that we had with them. They still showed up with the expectation, and then they wanted to go into the helix. And and they were told many times that we're not going to take care of the private vehicles. But as far as the routes of the buses, it's yet to be determined.
Why don't they pay like everybody else?
I think they did pay.
Okay. I mean, it is a total inconvenience, as it is, you're right, for people who live there. I went to pick something up, I was late for work, I got there, I couldn't park anywhere, you couldn't even stop.
I know.
I also
Why are
know
they even coming in private cars when, they have to go to their facility first to get their trucks? Maybe
I think
performance.
my feeling was that they were two pickup trucks that did not give the appearance that they were engaged in any kind of work. They had jersey plates, non-commercial, exactly, coming directly from wherever they are. And you can dress up a pickup truck so much. One of them had like 3 cones in it. I guess that was so. They moved them within about 10 minutes. So, but this is going to be a real busy time, and it's going to be an inconvenience.
Just wanted to ask a question. When the Con Ed is doing the work, they're going to take up a whole lane on Main Street? Is that what basically is going on overnight? I mean, I'm not out and about that much overnight, so I haven't seen them actually set
in the
up.
daytime too.
Well, they haven't really.
7 p.m. to 7 a.m.,
This
right?
is morning.
Well, into the
Correct.
morning, into 7 a.m., and presumably they're wrapped up and away by 7 a.m.
They will be. They get fined for every minute that they're
Really?
over that.
But today, or yesterday, the lane was still closed off at 8:30 or 9. Is that different construction? That was over further down in front
No,
of
that's
Roosevelt Landings. Why is that traffic pattern?
That's
different work,
That's a
but
different work, yeah.
and that's adjusted by 6 o'clock every night, and then they want to get out of here, so they take those cones down. But in answer to your question, Helen, it is essentially a lane,
Well, lane, right, a two-lane road,
and then
right, basically? Yeah.
right, and then that's why we had to they had to take the parking lane away.
Right.
And then there are going to be flagged men or women on either side bringing traffic
Yeah.
slowly through.
Yeah, it's potentially tough because don't they have the trucks with the Cornell project going back and forth at night?
That's the issue.
Is that right? I mean, they're scheduled to do that overnight so that they don't disrupt the traffic during the day. So then, what are they doing with that? Or how's that working?
You mean Cornell?
Yeah, the Cornell
Well,
trucks.
Cornell is behaving, I think.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
yeah, but they need to be kept in check too.
Right,
But
today I noticed 4 trucks
Well,
waiting,
no.
hovering to get on island and off island.
those were for a movie shoot
Right,
over
I
at
saw it,
Cora.
I know.
I mean, this is
Insane.
pretty much, we have these issues every day, and it's becoming personnel intensive. But I'm sure that whatever support we need, we'll get from Charlene. But there are a lot of moving parts to this traffic stuff, and the potential for a problem is large. So
Well, yeah, if you can't get, like, God forbid somebody has a heart attack,
I have
seconds actually
two
count.
quick questions.
Okay.
Or if you need a, God forbid, a fire truck or something like that, this is like a huge problem because there's only the one access road, basically, for emergency vehicles.
Well, with all this construction, it also has good reason on bike safety, but go ahead, Ron, you have questions?
The construction, particularly the 7, I live in River Cross at a place where I can see what's on the street, and I'm aware of how many ambulances come to in front of River Cross normally of a night between 7 and 7 a.m. What plans have you made for that during the construction that's taking place? Because they're going to be tearing up the street. And a corollary, the current work is handled very well as far as I'm concerned with Roosevelt Landings, but when you order a car to take you to the airport, or people with who have access to handicapped transit vehicles try to get picked up, they don't know where to go, and the officers that I talked to didn't really know what to do. It all worked out, but it's a problem that I've seen repeated 8 times in the period that the construction's been going on. All handled well, but people are,
Well, I'm a little unclear.
Well-
Are you talking about? Did you say 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. and
Well,
the
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
ambulances?
Yes, I'm saying between at night this doesn't matter because the Roosevelt Island construction is not going on.
Right.
But Con Ed is eventually going to go in front of Rivercross, and it stands to reason that there may be more than one person who will need a ambulance in Westview and Island House during the kind of construction. So it's a reasonable question that you should resolve in advance rather than waiting
Right.
for
Well,
the
it's
top
gonna be
of
a
the
little
beat to
different.
figure it out.
First of all, the opening in the street is going to be on the east side of the street, so there will be room for somebody to pull over, and they will be pulled through.
But just all I want you to do is say, yes, we have this in hand, and we have, and
there's never going to be a complete closure, I think,
Right.
is what the concern, if I'm
Yeah.
wrong. There's never going to be a complete closure. There will always be a lane for traffic to
but
flow.
will there be a lane for the
This is the
vehicle?
issue
Will there be
right
a
now.
lane for the ambulance to stop and have the guys get out, leave there, and go get someone and
When
come
there's an
back?
emergency, all bets are off, and life safety is paramount. So there will be access and egress for ambulances and/or
And there
other
will be,
emergency vehicles.
an
Because I
officer
saw it
who
with
knows.
Accessorize, I mean, they're not like
Okay,
threatening.
No.
They were in the middle of everything.
You're probably gonna find 5-to-1 or maybe 10-to-1 ratio accessorized pickups versus ambulance pickups. Now, accessorized have to stop in front of, in front of the 546, 580, 560, or 510, which is where the traffic will be flowing. So what happens when that bus is there to pick up one of their passengers? And sometimes the passenger is a little late because they have 5 or 6 minutes
I don't
in
think
which
you
to
need
come
to
down.
answer the question now, but please.
No, but believe me, we have thought about it. When that kind of construction occurs in the vicinity of River Course, there will be no parking on either side, which gives us a fair amount of room.
I'm asking.
So, yeah, no,
I've noticed 8 times in the short time that I've been there have been these situations that didn't work as well as they could. I don't know what a better solution is, but I'm letting you know that
fair enough.
there's a way that public safety administration can assist the police, the officers who are there with, so they don't have to make it up as they go along.
No, we don't want to do that.
It also would have been, it might have been easy to send a memo to the building saying, during this period, you need to have your accessoride come to here, here, and here. But no one said that.
People, buildings have nothing to do with accessory. It's people that do. People make the arrangements, not a building. I call up accessory. I tell them where to pick me up. The building management has nothing to do with that. And because you are a disabled person, and not just a person in a scooter, you can be a person with a walker who has limited mobility than I have, because I have my scooter. So they're not going to walk to 580 if they're at 510.
Well, it's possible for public safety to reach out to the building managers asking for assistance in disseminating this information to the people.
To your point, and to your point,
Linda,
we
thanks.
did notify all the door stations and building management of the traffic detours
See, there are
and
no door
traffic.
stations, 510 to 580.
We also sent it out via the, thank you, the Everbridge Advisory.
Yes.
We sent it out through the Everbridge Advisory. In addition to that, we delivered them to all the door stations and to all of the shopkeepers. And we've also made Everbridge, right? And we also made arrangements with the vendors also for them to receive their delivery. So we've looked at other measures to address the vendors, to address the accessoride, to address the emergency vehicles.
It occurred to me that the vendors were handled well, they did know where to go, but the accessoride, the people using the accessoride, they fell through the cracks. And
So
people,
maybe there would be some way we could do education through the blog or through the whatever the paper's called. Wire, thank you. Or some kind of notification, public education for people to know that they need to be mindful of this and have specific areas.
If you had some kind of a flyer,
Right.
you could put them up either on the disabled or the senior bulletin board. Because all my disabled people look at that board every day, and the seniors look at their seniors every day. And you're talking a considerable amount of people who would exercise using the.
We'll bring that back and discuss it. One of the things that's kind of in our favor is having, and I know that not every disabled individual lives in 546, but with a large elderly population and a lot of people that have limited mobility, and they're practically right next door to us, the sensitivity to that is understood by the officers. We don't ticket accessorized vehicles. Sometimes they have to be moved a little bit away or maybe north of where they'd like to be. It's only when they make these turns.
Because you have a bus stop where the entrance to 546 is.
Yes.
So you have that situation, but like I said, you realize that, and
Yes.
there's exceptions.
We're constantly trying to figure new things out. It's just that there are limited solutions because there's limited space.